Today, I had a great conversation with a colleague on the topic of digital tools we use in our business and especially the problems with them. And I want to talk about three main problems that we are usually unaware of and that creates a lot of trouble for ourselves. Um, so, the first problem is that the more separate tools we introduce to run our businesses on, the more problems we're generating. And it's partially because even if we try to integrate them, like with Zapier and integration platforms, or just with our own heads, like this is our workflow. This I do this in this app, then I export it there, then import it there, and do it there. Um, the problem is these platforms are changing. Now what generally is the case is we use software as a service. So we are subscribed to the software and we just have a user account there. We don't own a copy of that app or program. So it used to be like you purchased a piece of software and you used it for years, and it was living on your own computer or on your own server, and it didn't change. Now these apps nowadays, they change overnight. They update overnight, um, without noticing you. Of course, they notice you, and you can go after and realize it yourself. But it's more or less without noticing you. And the problem with that is something that worked this way one day might you wake up the other day and might not work the same way. Maybe it's just a little difference. But maybe in combination with the other tools you're using, um, maybe it breaks. And then you need to figure out a new way of doing that, or tweaking the way of doing that, or maybe some feature they discontinue and you were using it a lot. So it's the more things you combine because of that, it just gets exponentially more. It will create exponential more problems, which is not good for your own schedule and time and nervous system. um, so that's something to consider. If you can stick with one platform or just pay for a platform that does multiple things for you, try and stick with that. And of course, if you can find software um, that has a perpetual license that you just buy once and it can live on your own computer, do that. Because then it won't change that much. Of course, that can have bugs, but that's another topic. Second problem that is usually there is we think that we just need to find the perfect software for our needs. And the fact is, it doesn't exist. I have tried over the years hundreds of apps and softwares for my own needs and for my clients' needs. And what my experience, like the conclusion of my experience is this: you need to decide what are the really important features you need, and you need to decide what are the features that you are willing to let go of. Because sometimes you will find a piece of software that does this and that really well, but then you realize after trying it for a couple of weeks that, oh my God, but it doesn't do that. And you reach out to the support and ask around, and they will tell you, well, yeah, this doesn't do that. You can enter a feature request. Oh my God, how many times I did that. And some companies really care about the feature requests, but it's not usual, unfortunately. So don't expect that you will just find the perfect piece of software. Even if it's really good for you, even if it's a really good match for you, you will be missing some features from it that are there in other ones, but maybe those other ones are missing some other features that are more important to you. So please don't try 50 different applications for the same task just because none of them was perfect, because none of them will be perfect for you, and you just need to live with it. It sounds really bad, I know. I'm certainly frustrated by that, but that's what I needed to realize after years and hundreds of apps for different reasons, and with clients and for my own. It's just like that. Third thing, there is a huge thing with critical time unawareness. We just think that, oh, I will grab this app, start using it, or set it up, set the system up there, and in 2 hours I will be on my way and it will help me save a lot of time. Well, no, they don't do that. First, it will have a learning curve, and sometimes it's really steep. Then, so you thought it can be done in 2 hours. Okay. Then you face the learning curve. Now you realize it's 5 hours. Then some unseen issues come up that you were not able to plan ahead with because they were unseen. Then you realize, okay, now it's getting close to 10 hours now to figure it out and set it up. And that's not the end. So you plan for about 2 hours. Now we are at 10 hours. Then where you are really close to having it done, then perfectionism kicks in. And you will spend 20 more hours. These are just made up numbers, but the ratio is unfortunately really frequently true, these ratios. So then you spend 20 more hours on trying to perfect things, and then at the end you let it go because you realize it will never be perfect. It's like a piece of art. My background is in art, in film specifically, and artists talk about this a lot, that you never finish a piece of art, you just release it and leave it, and you basically just stop working on it and you just show it to the world. That's the good version of the ending if you release it, and not just put it in a drawer and keep it like this is not finished yet. So that happens with these systems as well when we are setting them up, and especially true for websites. I help a lot of clients with websites, and I know it from building dozens of websites for my own projects as well. A simple website can be uploaded in 2 hours. 2 hours. Yet I always tell my clients, well, this can be done in 2 hours, but this is what is going to happen. And I invite you to some self-awareness in that. We cannot plan for a couple of issues that are unseen at the beginning. So let's double that 2 hours upfront. So that's 4 hours. And then the unseen issues might even be more and more. And as we work in it, we come up with more ideas. So I know from my experience that as we start working on a simple website, more ideas will come up, and we will want to make it more complex. So let's say we started from 2 hours, let's say 6 to 8 hours. And then when we are getting really close, perfectionism kicks in. And then you realize this is not the way you want things. You get some feedback, which is important and good and healthy. Get some feedback, you realize that's not good, and then you realize it's not perfect yet. And that's, I must say, that is healthy up to some point, but you need to put some brackets around it. Brackets? Cannot remember the proper English word now. Um, you need to restrict yourself to like, okay, I will spend 4 hours on perfecting it and tweaking it to my own desires and tastes. So that's the same case with setting up any digital platform you want to use. Like it can be a note-taking system, file storage system, content management system, um, course delivering system, anything. It's true for those as well. So be aware of that, that you plan ahead with this can be done in a couple of hours. It will be not just twice of that, but multiple times of that because of those factors, the unforeseeable problems, um, unforeseeable new ideas, and perfectionism. And although we need all of those, we need to put some time restriction on especially the perfectionism part. So the three things were the more platforms you want to stitch together, the more problems you are going to create for yourself, and not necessarily up front, but down the line. The second was uh, release the expectation of, let go of the expectation of finding the perfect platform, because that's just, it's not out there. I can tell you. And the third one is the critical time awareness that we have, which is fine. It's not like a problem, and we all have that. It's just awareness of that will help you a lot. This is all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this interesting or useful, check out some of my other videos. I talk about tech topics a lot, especially for solopreneurs, because that's my main business. What I help with, I help solopreneurs with their tech challenges and projects. And next to that, I talk about some widely random and other topics as well. So if you're interested, feel free to check those out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day. Bye bye.